Greetings from Change. Welcome to the highly powerful mind management program called Creating Awareness for Life Mastery. In short, it is easy to remember calm. So, we are in the journey of discovering the self. In other words, self-realization. People also call self-awareness. So we are on the journey, we are traveling together, and I hope in this today's video, it's going to be moving you and shaking you when you know who you truly are. See, in response to the search by great thinkers, philosophers, and scientists, starting from 17th, 18th centuries, the ancient scriptures, I will use only two scriptures as a reference, because these two scriptures are very clearly telling us, empowering us with this insightful information about who we are. In the ancient scriptures, there are many. There are hundreds of ancient scriptures. We'll talk two out of them, which have direct relevance to what we are discussing. So one of them is called Mandukya Upanishad. Mandukya Upanishad is teaching us as to who you are, insofar as the physical world is concerned. It is telling us that you are not your name, you are not your education, you are not the position you are holding, you are not your wealth, and you are not your name and fame. You are not the relations others are claiming of you. In other words, all that what you do from the morning till you go back to the bed, you are not that. And after that, when you hit the bed, you are in a semi-sleep state called a dream state. And what you see in the dream, you are not that also. And the third state that you are in, the deep blank sleepness, the deep blank sleep state, you are not that also. When you see from morning till night, when you hit the bed, which is called the waking state, all your experiences, all your happiness, all your sorrow, you name anything, all your experiences, including your name, that Upanishad says you are not that. So you are not a waker. That's what they say. You are not a waker. And the second state, dream state, in the dream is the product of your predominant images that are in your mind. Maybe must have something happened in the recent past. So that's what comes as a dream. When during the waking state, your mind and body are working, both are working, right? But in the dream state, what is working? Is your body working? No, your body is not working. So your mind is working. That is why the dream is there. Because the mind is working, the mind is projecting. So mind is working, body is not working in the dream state. In the third state, the deep blankness, deep sleep state, what is working? Is the mind working? No, mind is not working. Is the body working? No, the body is not working. So both, the mind is in the potential state at that time. The potential state means the next day when you wake up, you feel either you have slept well or you have not slept well, right? You are saying that. When people ask you, or even you yourself say, oh, I didn't sleep well yesterday, I don't know what's the problem. You are saying that, So, which means, even during the deep sleep state, though your mind was not working, but it is in potential state. It is ready to work. The moment you wake up from the bed, it is ready to work. So, it's potential state. So, the Upanishad says you are not that also. You are neither the waker, nor the dreamer, nor the deep sleeper. You are the fourth. In Sanskrit, it is called Turiya. You are in the fourth category. Actually, there is no fourth category. There is only one category about you. The true you is only one. So, what the Upanishad says is you are the consciousness. This is what exactly we talked in the previous video. What do we mean by consciousness? Consciousness means it is a bundle. It is a bundle of images and labels about yourself and the rest of the world stored in your subconscious mind from time immemorial. Not only in this costume, not only in this name and form, even in the previous costumes. Your past experiences, your past faith system, belief structure, your past experiences, your actions, all of that got stored. Both about yourself as well as the rest of the world. So that is what is called consciousness. Meaning, if you are a CEO in an organization, you are conscious of that position, right? You are conscious of that position, the roles and responsibility of the position, the emolument that you get out of that, and the number of staff working under you. So you are conscious of all this. So when you are conscious of being the CEO, will you be ever conscious of somebody at the lowest rank? Will you ever aspire for that? No. For that matter, yes, it is true that you being the CEO, you will not aspire for a lower level ranking person. But the lower level ranking person, why is he not aspiring to become CEO? Think of it. He won't aspire for that. His mind also won't aspire for that. See, it is understandable that you don't want to come down. But why the person who is in the lowest rank is not wanting to come up? They will not wanting to come up because the mind is not allowing them. That's what we emphasized in the last video also. The mind will always project only what the mind has been doing before. The team manager will never ever think of becoming the CEO because the mind is not allowing. Occasionally, when a mind may think, oh, see, look at this person with high name and fame, status, power, authority, the CEO. I wish I could be him or her. It can happen a minute. The mind can create that aspiration for a minute. In the next minute, even if you remain focused on the same point, if your mind is remaining focused, the mind will come up with 101 reasons as to why you cannot be the CEO. Because mind has not experienced that. Mind's experience is only limited to team manager. That's all. See, this is the problem we have. And in addition to the fact that the mind is not nurturing that thought of higher aspiration, in the physical world, you don't have even time, even 5 minutes to think about that. Even higher level of aspiration comes occasionally, immediately your attention gets distracted. Your boss is calling, there is a phone ringing, your family is calling, so you get diverted. This is exactly how the mind is playing its tricks. So, it is the consciousness which is founded on the body-mind consciousness state in the physical world. We have learnt already enough that mind is working always on the past, what is known to it. As long as you are in the body-mind consciousness state, the mind will only take you to its known past. It can never take you to anywhere unknown to it. That's it. That's the problem we need to understand. So that is the reason, even when you aspire for something big, it doesn't happen because it doesn't take you there. So this is, as long as we are in mind-body consciousness state, we remain what we have been. Very rarely, 1 in million move away from this problem of being in the past. And there are examples well over. If you want to talk about, understand what we mean by example, you can take Abraham Lincoln. Who was Abraham Lincoln at birth and what he became? Who was Dr. Abdul Kalam at birth and what he became? Very few people who changed this system of being in the past, isn't it? If Abdul Kalam had to be always living the past in the present, would he ever become the President of India? Or for that matter, any scientist who discovered great things for improving the quality of life. You talk of Thomas Alva Edison, Graham Bell, Wright brothers, or great personalities who shined in sports and arts, or businesses, or political leadership. Those people who shined, who have gone on history with name and fame, they were never in the past. They were always in the present. Not only being in the present, but they were also always in the thought of adding value to the human life, not to themselves. Why should Thomas Alva Edison work so hard for inventing the bulb? Is it for himself? Or why should Wright brother trying to find how human can also fly like birds, right? They have not worked for themselves. They work for the humanity. It is because those scientists and great leaders, philosophers and even spiritual leaders, they were selfless in their work. They have gone on history with name and fame. They served the humanity. And it is because of their passion to serve humanity, they got that power to invent. Sleeplessly work night and day to discover things that are valuable to the human life. Right? So, as long as we live in body-mind conscious state, our life will be ordinary. And you can continue to be ignorant of who you are. You can continue to be living in false identity and living an ordinary life. But if you want to lead a life of greatness, a life with name and fame, position, power, authority, as well as physical abundance, and if you are not happy with your current life and you want a better life, transform yourself. Transform yourself from the body-mind consciousness state to the true self state. So we are now going to discover who we truly are. So Mandukya Upanishad said, you are the consciousness. And that consciousness, what is being said in the Mandukya Upanishad is consciousness in the physical world. Meaning, it is your own past experiences, reflections, faith system, belief system, experiences create your desire now. Desire transforms into thoughts and decisions, and the decisions are transmuted through your brain into physical reality. This is how the manifestation happens. So if you remain in body-mind consciousness state, the same thing will get repeated, right? Your past will become the present. The past will become the present as well as in the future, so you will ever be in the past. So that is why you need to deeply think and understand yourself, answer yourself the question, do you want to live 1 year of life 100 times, or do you want to live 100 years of life? 100 years of life means vibrant, ever in the present, vibrant, creative, innovative, always trying to do things, new things for the betterment of not only for yourself but for the humanity. So that is 100 years of life. 1 year of life 100 means repetition. You will continue to do the same thing. You will be naturally you will suffer from the monotony, frustration, dejection, scarcity, all that. So determine, if you are not happy about any one or more aspect of your life, determine right now whether you want to transform yourself. And if you want to transform yourself, the first step in that direction is discovering who you truly are. So in the process of discovering who you truly are, we'll now use another Upanishad. which is Taittiriya Upanishad. In the Taittiriya Upanishad, we have the treasure of information, the secret, the treasure. If only you are able to digest that, believe in that, and apply your belief into practice, then nobody can stop your life from progressing to the peak of your choice. What Taittiriya Upanishads? There is a conversation between Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara was a saint, lived 4,000 years back, and among Hindus, he was considered to be the incarnation of Lord Shiva, whom Hindus believe and pray. His disciples were asking Adi Shankara, Guru, please enlighten us, who is God? And Adi Shankara defines God in 3 words. Adi Shankara says, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahmam. Here the 4th word Brahmam refers to God. And for the purpose of completing this interpretation of these 3 words, so that you have some idea by the end of this video, I am not going to go into the details of this interpretation, because this interpretation can take 7 to 8 hours. I do it in 1-day workshop. The definition of God by Adi Shankara. But I am going to take few minutes and succinctly define each word according to Adi Shankara. So Adi Shankara says, Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahmam. Brahmam is God. Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam equals God. That's what he says. For us to understand these 3 words, let us start from the 3rd word. What is the 3rd word here? Anantam. Anantam in Sanskrit means limitless. Antam means limited, Anantam means limitless. His disciples were asking, in which way limitless, Guru? Adi Shankara says, limitless in time, space and object. Okay? The one which is, Adi Shankara says, God is the one which is limitless in time, space and object. So this is one aspect we need to grasp. God is the one which is limitless in time, space and object. Meaning what? Means God is present all the time. Limitless in time means all the time. God is not bound by any time. It is not that God is present at evening 6 o'clock and not present in the daytime. No. God is present all the time. Limitless in time. God doesn't have any time. In fact, He is present. Limitless in time, space. God is present everywhere. The entire universe. Adi Shankara says very emphatically, if somebody has to come and tell God is in India but not in Malaysia. No. You know then what Adi Shankara says? If you say God is in India, not in Malaysia, then Malaysia is not the place at all. So he is so emphatic. There can't be a space where there is no God. In other words, there can't be a time where there is no God. So, time, space, that is object. Limitless in time, space, and object. Object means God is present in all objects. All objects, including yourself, myself, this table, this computer, this brick wall, everything. So if you want to be empathic, you have to say there is no object in which God is not present. Now, we have to, it's not something to, we should not take this without any seriousness. We should take this very seriously. If God is present in all objects, you and me are also objects. Therefore, God is present in you, God is present in me, God is present in somebody in Australia whom I never met. God is present in my parents, God is present in your bosses, peers, subordinates. God is present in all your relatives and friends. God is present in this small insect or wild animals, aquatics, those that fly. And God is present in sky, God is present in air. And when we introspect, we will understand it is truth. It's absolute truth. When the sea water can be lifted and formed into clouds, and the clouds traveling far off places, and then it drops as pure water. What do you call this? How this can happen? Every day sun comes in front of us. If sun is not there on a particular day, what will happen? The entire planet will be dark. The entire planet will be so chill, and very soon there will be no life in the planet. And the sun, which is 900 million miles away from us, travels in 8 minutes to the earth only for us to survive. The plants to survive. Everything in the planet to survive. The earth, which is 23-degree tilted position, makes two different movements. It revolves around it spins by itself, and it revolves around the sun. It is these two movements and this 23-degree tilt position, it gives you night and day experiences. Cold and hot experiences. Like that, you can see God if only you are awake. Meaning, if you just reflect on how the universe functions, take one or two aspects. Just reflect on the formation of rain clouds, for example. Reflect on a small tomato seed is being sown in the earth, and how it comes up as a tomato plant. Reflect on what your body is after all. Your body is after all food transformed. That's all. Your body is after all only food transformed. Food transformed into your body, that's all. So, Shankaracharya says, the one which is limitless in time and space and object is God. Another condition he says, we talked about Anantam, right? Third word. The third word means this. The power which is limitless in time and space and object is God. Second definition is Jnanam. Second word, Jnanam. Jnanam means knowledge. Knowledge essentially, over a period, transforms into consciousness, right? We talked about consciousness. It is a knowledge which you keep acquiring, accumulating, that stays in your subconscious mind, and it acts as a consciousness. And human knowledge is always limited. Human knowledge is always limited. Whereas when we are talking about the gods, God's knowledge is limitless. So the consciousness, the limitless consciousness, we will also talk about very specific example of what is that limitless consciousness. So the power which has limitless consciousness, unlike human being who have only limited consciousness, is God. And the first word, Satyam. Satyam means real, reality, or true, you can say, or something which is present, right? Which is present means absolute presence, absolute existence, existence absolute. That is what is reality, For example, you can call this as a table. Table means, the word table refers to a name and form of an object. If you break this table, what will remain? Table is name and form, and it indicates use, right? You are sitting in front of a table, you are using the table to write, or you are storing something in the table. So it's a name and form and use. Suppose if you break the table, what remains? Will it continue to be called as table? So there is something remains. So what ultimately, so you destroy that also, you break that also. What ultimately remains, beyond which you have no question and answer, that is existence absolute. In other words, that is called easiness. Something that is there. Something that is there ever. Okay, you take another example, more easily understandable example. You are wearing a gold chain. Can the gold chain be converted into bangle? It can be converted into a bangle. And can it be converted into a ring? So it can be converted in many different names and forms. So in the process of conversion, what changes is only name and form. Isn't it? The chain transforms into Bangle. Bangle transforms into chain. So what changes is only name and form. Does the origin change? What remains? Even after the transformation, there is something that remains. What remains is gold. So the gold remains. Existence absolute. This is what is called existence absolute. The fact it is there. Right? See, in the language creates some difficulty for us to understand. We don't use the terminology like the table is. We simply say table. Bring that table, bring that chair. Right? Behind that, what remains is that isness. The fact it is there. The fact mountain is there. The fact ocean is there. The fact the forest is there. The fact sun is there. Moon is there. The fact 5 different forms of being are there. So, to cut short, existence absolute, the fact things are there. The human being are there. Existence absolute, consciousness absolute, not human consciousness. Consciousness absolute. The consciousness which has created the whole creation, that is the consciousness we are talking about. We are not talking about your and my consciousness in the physical world. So existence absolute, consciousness absolute, and which are limitless in time, space and object is God. This is what Adi Shankara's definition of God. The most secular. Adi Shankara in the definition did not give any name to the God, did not give any form to the God, did not give any shape to the God, right? The most secular definition of God has been gifted to us by Adi Shankara. Existence absolute, consciousness absolute, which are limitless in time, space and object is God. From this what we understand is God is everywhere, all the time and in everything. Meaning, in you, in me, in this table, in this small insect, or the big animals, and the 5 elements that runs the universe, God is everywhere. Now, and n number of examples being taught in these videos will not suffice. What is most important is you need to reflect. You need to reflect on. You need to reflect on how the universe is functioning. Everything has been systematized in this universe. Everything. It is all like mathematics and science. The whole creation is like mathematics and science, including your thoughts. Such a wonderfully and powerfully designed creation only we are living. Therefore, and the mind we are now blaming in this calm program, mind is a culprit for everything. But in the grand creation process, the mind is the powerful instrument that has been gifted to you. Very powerful instrument. The speed of the mind equals the speed of the light. What is the speed of the light? The sun, which is located 9 crores miles away from the planet, reaches the planet in 8 minutes. That is the light speed. 9 crore miles in 8 minutes. That is the speed of the light, and that is the speed of your thought. If your mother or father are distantly located 10,000 miles away, the moment you think of your mother, are you not able to see the image of your mother? You are. Just the image comes. The image comes not outside your face, but deep within the image is there. Isn't it? That is the power of the mind. You think of your mother, that image of mother is there within, though she is located 10,000 miles away. Because your mind has seen the mother, your mother, so it is bringing the image. The mind will bring to you only what is known to it. What is unknown to it, it will never bring you. That is why, if you are earning, say, $10,000 per month, you will continue to earn $10,000 because your mind is trained. Your mind is trained to attract that $10,000. For example, if somebody is saying that I've been working in this organization for 20 years, that's why the mind is trained to do certain work in a certain organization long time. Whereas, when you aspire, okay, I wish my salary instead of 10,000, it could be 50,000. Occasionally, a mind may think, but the mind will never bring that $50,000 to you per month because it is an unknown path for the mind. But it doesn't mean you can't get it. You can easily get that $50,000 also. You can. The way you got $10,000 per month, you will also get the $50,000. Only thing is you need to pay attention to that $50,000. While you are currently paying your attention only to $10,000. This is what Albert Einstein said, Your attention creates your physical realities. He also said, match the frequency of the reality you want, you will get that. Match the frequency of the reality you want. If the current reality is $10,000 and you are wishing for $20,000 per month, you are wishing. So what Albert Einstein says, match the frequency of the reality you want, you will get that. Meaning what it means is, you have to aspire for that $20,000 persistently, with determination. When your aspiration and desire for that $20,000 is so strong, path will appear in front of you. How? How do I get that? What do I do? How do I get that? What are the strategy? What should I do? Who I'll meet? Where is the money that will come from? All that will appear in front of you, one by one. But you have to make the first step. What is the first step? Strongly desire for the $20,000. The answer will come to you. We will cover in the COM program certain tools and techniques regarding this. So, coming back to the topic. So, now you know who you are. Because God is present everywhere. Everywhere, all the time, in all objects. All objects includes you. So, which means God is present in you. In me. In everything. In everybody. But we are not conscious of that. We are not conscious of that. We are conscious of only this body and mind. And this body and mind has been gifted to us to have worldly experiences, having come into this planet in the human form. We have been dispatched to this planet, luckily in human form. The human being, we have a special power of consciousness which no other form of life has. Other forms of life can have only consciousness relating to this physical world. Whereas the human being are meant to attain supreme consciousness. Over and over, much beyond the body and mind consciousness state. And the supreme consciousness is all about knowing who you are. And we said, we are learning today that we are not simply this body and mind, because the God is present in me. In me, in you, in every form of life, and in the entire universe. Therefore, you and me need to call ourselves as truly, I am a particle of that infinite intelligence, a particle. I am not the God. The sum total of everything in the universe. The sum total of everything in the universe. 5 elements, all 5 forms of life. The sum total is God, but you are not the sum total, you are a particle in that. So, a particle of that infinite intelligence is in you, therefore you are that. You are not the body and mind. So, for us to understand, okay, so what? Okay, fine. I am hearing from you, Mr. Gopalan, you are saying that. That you are saying I am not the body and mind. I am a particle of that infinite intelligence. I am hearing. But so what? That's your question. When you emit godliness in your day-to-day life, the world around you will be your choice. The world around you will be your choice. You can consciously create the world around you. In other words, if you want to move from $10,000 to $30,000 job, you can consciously, easily create if you practice in your day-to-day life the values of that particle of that infinite intelligence which you are. But because that true self is dormant, it is not awakened, your body and mind is overimposing your true self. Your body and mind is overimposing your true self, so you are not awake and your body and mind is active. And the more and more the body and mind is excessively engaged in the physical world, over a period of time, we have completely lost the sense of our origin, sense of our purpose, sense of who we are. We became the body and mind. This is how it has happened. So, as a part of your search, the fact that you are listening to this calm program very studiously, you are interested in transforming yourself. So the fact that you are dedicating your time and resources to this program, there is a clear interest in you that you want to seriously transform from the body-mind consciousness state into the true self-consciousness state. And we learn in this video that truly you are not the body and mind, you are a particle of the supreme infinite intelligence. Now the next question is, we need to discuss is, okay, how do I work in my day-to-day life in that consciousness state that I am a particle of that infinite intelligence? Is the question that you need to be asking, and the upcoming videos will answer. And it's so easy to practice the true self in your day-to-day life. And once you practice, once you comply with the principle that is being taught in this video, your life, you will see a sea change in your life, meaning in your own perspective of yourself. Your perspective of now will dramatically change to a powerful perspective. It won't be anymore in the past. Your perspective of the world will completely change. Your perspective of the people around you will change. Your perspective of your parents will change. Your perspective of your brothers and sisters will change. Your perspective of your bosses will change. Your perspective of your peers will change. Your perspective of your subordinates will change. Your perspective of other forms of life will change. Your perspective of a small ant will change. Your perspective of the so-called dangerous wild animals will change. Your perspective of all this will change. And it is a changed perspective will direct your faith system, belief structure, your aspiration, your desire, your decision, your action, everything will change. So transformation is all about changing the faith system, belief structure, the past actions, experiences about everybody, everything. And once that change takes place in the subconscious mind, the newly wired subconscious mind, the newly wired labels and images of yourself and the rest of the world will start activating. That is how the life will change. So in the next video, we are going to take a step forward to understand, okay, fine, if I am a particle, if the true me is particle of that infinite intelligence, what it means and how will I practice that knowledge? How will I change my current conscious mind-body consciousness into the consciousness of the true self? That is, I am a particle of the infinite intelligence. And how I can bring about change in my life. Thank you. Have a great week ahead of you. Bless. Please keep thinking about this video until the next week. Keep thinking about, keep reflecting. Now you know who you are. Reflecting on that. Come up with questions. Come up with clarifications. Come up with comments in the box provided. Please do so. It will be helpful for us to go over the issues of clarity and doubts, and your comments will be helpful to us as well. Take care.